The holiday shopping season looks and feels different this year. The pandemic, the recession, and record unemployment have some feeling the Scrooge. Financial expert Jeff Bangerter joins us to share 4 things that you can do with your money right now to make this season merrier and bright. Thank you so much for joining us.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Let's get right into that plan. So the first thing you think you should do is to set a spending plan. Know how much you're going to spend.
Yeah, it really is the key to success, right? If you have a plan, if you've set aside, you kind of know exactly how much money you want to spend for the holidays. You kind of divide that by how many people you're going to shop for, maybe a little bit more for the kids, less for the adults, whatever. And don't forget all the decorations and other, wrapping paper and all the stuff that goes with that. And then when you go shopping, you'll be able to kind of stay within that budget and really stay focused on it. If you don't have a budget worksheet, I have a holiday budget worksheet on my website at bangerterfinancial.com to help folks get started.
And it's important to know if you're going to use cash or cards.
It really is, since most of us are shopping online, about 60% of folks say that they're going to shop online for most of the gifts. So you're pretty much focused on having to use a card for that. The key is you don't want to put all these presents on a card and then not pay it off in full. Yeah. Because if you let interest accrue, and especially if you're just like making minimum payments, the cost of those presents is getting more and more every month that you wait. Now, if you go to the store and you take cash, if you just take the exact amount that you want to spend, that'll help control your budget as well.
That's a good point. And I also think that this year, one of your points here is to consider alternative gifts. I think this is a great idea, especially when we're dealing with so many families who may be having some trouble this year in 2020.
Yeah, I think there's a few things. One is, if you think about maybe giving a gift that's really going to last, like maybe an education. So if you have kids or grandkids, instead of buying one more present that's going to last, a few weeks or something, right? You could actually put money into a 529 plan to help have an account so that they can pay for college and not go into a lot of debt. And that money, the growth on that is tax-free as long as you use it for qualified educational expenses. And the other thing is if you've been impacted by COVID and, you've lost your job, it's okay to do handmade gifts and cards. Remember, it's the thought that counts.
Sure. And it's, I would also say too, student loans, if someone wants to make a payment towards that right now, interest rates are paused on those student loans down to 0. So it might be worth tacking off some of those student loan payments. And also don't forget about you. As we're about to wrap up here, we got a few seconds, but don't forget about you. That's an important one.
Yeah, it's you've made your list, you've checked it twice, but did you do anything for yourself, right? And I'm not talking about another big screen TV or a home gym. I'm thinking about long-term really benefiting yourself by adding money to your emergency fund or adding money to purchase large items, maybe a down payment on a house, those types of things. If you really focus on a long-term goal, you'll be in a much better situation when that time comes around. And so, again, everybody's situation is unique and different.
Yeah.
We really help people by putting together specific programs for each individual.
And again, you can go to bangerterfinancial.com to find out more and to take advantage of that budget worksheet that you do have available. So again, Jeff Bangerter, thank you so much for joining us here to give us those tips.
Thanks for having me.